victory circled. Apart from any other race in the world, these racing specials reach 180 miles an hour on the straightaway and turn left through the almost unbanked turns at 135 miles an hour. The field is dominated by four-cylinder Meyer-Drake engines, which develop almost 400 horsepower, although piston displacement is limited by the United States Auto Club rules to 256 cubic inches. They wheel through the third and fourth turn, heading for the front stretch and the green flag that starts the race. The pace car leads the track. There's the green flag. A beautiful start. Eddie Sachs leads them down the straightaway with Jim Hurtubise outside as they reach the first turn. Out of the second turn, Hurtubise takes the lead. 33 cars string out, moving down the backstretch, with Hurtubise holding first place. Eddie Sachs is second. This is the fastest start in Speedway history. End of one lap. Hurtubise moving away. Eddie Sachs defends second place, meeting a challenge from Bill Cheeseburg. At the end of the backstretch, Cheeseburg takes second place. But Hurtubise, living up to his nickname, has built a 3-second lead by running 145 miles an hour. 3 enormous seconds. Only 8 cars choose to run with Hurtubise. The others fall back, easing the strain on their machines. Hurtubise runs the first 50 miles in less than 21 minutes, setting new records as he goes. Each man runs his own race against the clock and against the track. They pass and repass, their clocks running faster, then slower. Each driver runs in his own private world of time, and out of time, they write the history of the 500. Hurtubise makes history for 30 minutes, setting a sizzling pace of 145 miles an hour. But even as he slows to pit, 5 cars, led by Jim Rathman, streak past. By running hard, Hurtubise has committed himself to a 4 pit stop race, and there is no timeout in the pits. Hurtubise drinks a cup of water while he waits and asks for another. But pit work by a 5-man crew is so smooth and fast, he doesn't have time to drink it. Rolling again in only 18 seconds, he has dropped from first to 16th position. Jim Rathman, the winner a year ago, makes an unscheduled pit stop with a broken magneto. Rathman was leading at 100 miles, covering the distance in 41 minutes. But he's through for the day. He stops counting the split seconds. He has a year to wait. Parnelli Jones, the rookie who drives like a veteran, is leading the pack coming into the front stretch. There's trouble on the main straightaway. Don Davis spins and comes to a stop in front of 160-mile-an-hour traffic. The crowd shouts a warning, sensing that more trouble is coming, as Davis, a rookie, is slow leaving his car. He seems stunned and bewildered. Look out! Another rookie, A.J. Shepard, is out of control. Five cars tangle and come to a halt at the end of the straightaway. But no one is injured. Slow-motion cameras saw the accident in greater detail. Davis's spin was caused by a broken oil tank on his car, which sprayed his wheels with oil. Davis was skidding on ice for hundreds of yards in his wild ride, desperately attempting to bring his car under control. One car had already passed the stall number 83 on the inside, but when Davis walked across that narrow corridor, Shepard tried to change direction and lost control. Shepard hit the wall and then slammed into Bill Cheeseburg's car. With the track blocked, another car, driven by Roger McCluskey, spun out. Brilliant driving by Johnny Boyd took him around trouble. But at that moment, Jack Turner, attempting to avoid the pileup, flipped. Turner landed right side up. Lloyd Ruby's car coasted slowly around the disabled machines toward the infield, where his engine was later restarted. In a few moments, all 5 drivers were out of their cars and safely in the pits, ending one of the most spectacular chain reactions in Indianapolis history. A slight cut on Jack Turner's knee is the only bodily injury suffered by any of the drivers involved in the crash. Helmets, seat belts, shoulder harnesses, and roll bars were important factors in preventing injury. 5 cars are out of competition. When the track is clear, the green flag sends 24 cars back to high speed. A.J. Foyt leads with Eddie Sachs closing in. Sachs is now in position 2. Jim Hurtubise reaches the halfway point, 250 miles, and is out of the race. Engine failure halts a brilliant runner. Eddie Sachs catches A.J. Foyt on the front stretch, and he passes to take the lead after 300 miles. Troy Ruttman's car is pushed to the garage. The clutch failed during a pit stop, but not before Ruttman turned the fastest leading lap in Speedway history, more than 148 miles an hour. He joins Jim Rathman as the second 500 winner out of competition. Sachs and Foyt are locked in an all-out battle. Foyt, the national champion, retakes position 1. After 2.5 hours of racing, only car lengths separate the 2 leaders, Foyt and Sachs. Then the crowd comes to its feet as Eddie Sachs makes his last scheduled pit stop. As Sachs slows down, A.J. Foyt roars past the pits, firmly in the lead. Every second that Sachs spends in the pits, Foyt gains another 200 feet. Foyt is running better than 145 miles an hour with 40 laps, 100 miles still to go. Sachs is away in 22 seconds. Out of the first turn, Sachs is up to full racing speed, but half a lap behind A.J. Foyt, who has not made his last scheduled stop. Here comes Foyt, the national champion, into the pits. There's a precautionary tire change, but something is wrong with the refueling mechanism. A high-speed aircraft-type fuel nozzle refuses to engage a special fitting on the car. Frank Catania, the man in charge of fueling, fights the nozzle for 20 of the longest seconds in his life, but no fuel is delivered. Chief Mechanic George Bignotti makes a split-second decision to send him out. Unaware of the problem facing his crew, Foyt pulls away, ready to pick up the battle with Sachs. Does he have enough fuel to go the distance? His crew watches for him to come off the 4th turn. There he is, wheel to wheel with Sachs and 80 miles to go. Late stop. Foyt doesn't know why, but he stands on the throttle trying to stretch his lead over Sachs. While Foyt tries to gain the precious seconds he needs for a pit stop, his Bose Seal Pass crew borrow a fueling rig from a crew whose car is out of the race. Running low on fuel gives Foyt a temporary advantage. With less weight, his car has more speed. Sachs, straining to win the race, drives all out to keep up with the leader. Sachs is running harder through the corners, giving his tires terrific punishment in his bid for victory. Foyt is gaining, and his crew signal him to keep going until they're ready for him, or until his engine begins to cough. Foyt gains only a handful of seconds before his engine sputters, but now his crew is ready. Here he comes. Foyt is forced to pit only 15 laps short of victory. "5 seconds. 10 seconds. Go! Go! He's away in 15 seconds. But to Frank Catania, who handled the fueling, those few seconds may have buried a year of work and hope. Sachs has the lead with only 10 laps, 25 miles left to run. Slowing down to pit and refueling put Foyt 30 seconds behind. Sachs gets the good news, a winning grip on first place. His mechanic, Clint Bronner, gives him the okay sign. Right behind the pit fence, Nancy Sachs is waiting out the last laps. Only 10 miles to go now. 4 more minutes. The Bose team has just about given up hope. But suddenly the crowd sees something. Eddie Sachs is coming into his pit, only 3 laps away from victory. Sachs has worn one tire past the safety margin in his all-out effort to stay with Foyt. Foyt had been running faster without a fuel load. Foyt's crew is wild. Here comes their man, and a new chance to win. Sachs is out of the pits as Foyt roars past. 7.5 miles to go. Only 3 more laps. Foyt takes position 1. Roaring out of the pits, Sachs is less than 10 seconds behind him. Look at that man travel. Can he catch Foyt? The cars are on the backstretch now. There's nothing to do for half a minute while the drivers battle for first place. It's Foyt. He's holding the lead. Two more laps. The Bose team is back in first place. Bob Bose and Chief Mechanic George Bignotti are co-owners of the car that Foyt is handling. Sachs is closer. The white flag, 1 more lap. Sachs is only seconds behind, and he said he wouldn't quit racing until he won the 500. Less than half a minute now. There's the checkered flag for A.J. Foyt, national champion, and now the winner of the Indianapolis 500. Once, 24 years ago, Wilbur Shaw beat Ralph Hepburn by 2 seconds. But this 8-second margin is the second closest finish in Speedway history. The waiting is over. The Bose crew is on its way to Victory Circle. They'll greet A.J. Foyt, who at 26 is just about half as old as the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Foyt has just won the biggest share of the biggest purse it has ever offered. The driver and his teammates will divide almost $118,000 of the total Speedway purse of $400,000. Only 12 cars of the original starting field of 33 were running when the checkered flag waved for A.J. Foyt. Indianapolis is still a challenge to cars, men, and equipment.